Sorry about that. I ran out of space. um, so yeah, the contractions felt really interesting still, so not very painful. But because it's been, yeah, probably 12 hours at that point, I thought let's just go to the hospital and have a checkup, just because I didn't know where we were. I was okay to be sent back home. That was totally fine. Then when I got there, I was in a really good mood, smiling. They're like, oh yeah, if she's in that good mood, maybe she'll have to go back home. But then they checked me and I was 4 centimeters dilated. And they said it's a quiet night, I could actually stay. So I think things progressed then. Things progressed. But I was never really in pain, which was incredible. I was very quiet, I was withdrawn. I was falling into myself and visualizing. I was visualizing a lot of things. I was visualizing my favorite scenes, which happened to be like the desert in Israel. I visualized my baby, holding her. I called her by her name in my spirit. I was like, come on, we're ready for you. We can't wait to meet you. You're born for such a time as this, literally. And then one thing that I recommend people be on top of, I completely forgot to think of these sensations. I didn't want to eat. I hardly wanted to drink. I remembered I needed to hydrate, so I made myself drink. But I had no desires in my body to do anything. And with that came, I didn't go to the toilet. I didn't urinate, which meant my bladder was quite full, but the head had moved down. So one thing was preventing the other thing. The full bladder was preventing the dilation, and the baby's head was preventing me from going to the bathroom. So a few hours later, I was in the pool for hours, really relaxing, but when contractions kind of didn't go ahead, the doctors were saying, have you been to the bathroom? I'm like, no. They're like, oh no. So I needed a catheter, which I hated, but then actually that made a big difference, and we went ahead. Yeah, and then I was just encouraged to try different positions, which was really natural. I loved standing, loved rocking, loved holding on to my husband, but yeah, I didn't want to lay down on my back, which is very natural behavior as well. So I was passionate about trusting my body, trusting my instincts. I knew that my body would have everything it needed. Then I decided in my mind to not be afraid when things were getting more intense. With intense, it's hard to describe, but it was like really hard work. My body was working the whole time. I didn't have to do anything. My body knew what it needed to do. All I needed to do is just breathe and be calm. And I was wondering about the pain, but I was thinking it doesn't have to be a pain-free birth, but I wanted to be a fear-free birth. That was important to me. But to be honest, till the very end, I did not have too much pain. It was interesting sensations. It was just like, at a few points, I didn't know if I can trust myself. I was like, I need help. What should I do? And they're just like, if you're doing well. Everyone was always saying you're doing well. I had a team of fantastic midwives. There was a change of shift as well, and then a new midwives were really friendly as well. So I felt in good hands. But then at one stage, I was zoned out, really, really spaced out. And then after a stage, my husband was really good. He was like, you can do this, like coaching, like, as if he was having coaching a team. But at a certain point, didn't even listen to his coaching anymore. I was just in my own little world. I don't know if I made too many noises. Tristan said I was really quiet, but it was probably more like breathing out like that. And then I wanted to go back in the water, and then they said it's a little bit too late for that. We need to stay in the bed now. Then an obstetrician came in, and then I felt they were giving me a little bit of pressure by saying the baby's been in the birth canal for quite a while now, shouldn't be longer than 2 hours. So it's really important that you keep pushing. I was like, okay, let's do that. So then I was just beside myself. It was an out-of-body experience as she was being born. I was just like, wow, this rush of emotions and rush of hormones. And then she was there, and they put her on me, and I was just amazed. And she was so soft. She was like silk, and she propped herself up on her hands straight away and looked me in the eyes. She was like pushing up, and she gave me this look like she had squinted eyes. She was like, And I was like, we did this. So that was really, really awesome. And I just loved her and kissed her. My husband was, oh my goodness, he was so touched and moved. And we're just like in awe. And then after a little while, I found out that my placenta didn't come out by itself, so I needed an epidural and a manual removal in the theater, which was so unexpected. I had no idea that this even happens. I read a lot of books. I watched so many YouTube videos on birth stories, and nothing prepared me for that. Which was amazing. I didn't feel a thing. I didn't want an epidural because of the side effects or of the, recovery from that. Probably have to stay in hospital one more night. So I was like, no, just wanted to. It's so funny, how ironic. I did this pain, like medication free, and then after the baby's born, I get an epidural. I was like, unbelievable. Anyway, I was in good spirits, and then the recovery had to be in recovery for 1 hour because it was a surgical intervention. And I knew Noelle was in good hands with Tristan. They were having skin time, which I loved, but I just missed her so much. So yeah, I had 20 minutes with her on skin to skin, which was fantastic. But I was not tired. I had been in labor for 24 hours, but I really, really didn't mind. I was so full of energy, and I just couldn't wait to see her. And then when I got wheeled into the room, she was there with Tristan, and it was just a dream come true, holding her and feeling so well. And I have to say, I was really blessed. She slept a lot in the first few days, which made me just recover. Breastfeeding hurt in the beginning, but it ended up being doable, because I really did want to pull through with the breastfeeding, and the milk supply was fantastic. And after we left after 2 nights, and just at home I was so energetic. We slept so well. I wanted to be out and about in the community. I took it easy, but we went for a walk straight away. We had guests straight away. So I just want to encourage you that it is possible, and I encourage you to read this book called called Supernatural Childbirth by Jackie Mize, and it really opened my mind that the birth is actually spiritual, and that it is really directed by the brain, and the brain tells the body, be afraid or not be afraid. So making that choice to be safe, to trust the ancient wisdom of birthing, joining with all the women who've done this before me and will do in future. And again, my opinion is not against medical intervention when it's necessary. It's fantastic that the doctors are so clever. But I encourage you to educate yourself a lot. I did it and then not even knowing about the placenta thing. So please know this now. But the education has really, really helped me. And wrapping my head around a cesarean was also really, really, really helpful, because I thought, worst case scenario, if it has to happen, I'm not going to be completely shocked and devastated. I'll be like, yep, this happens next. So although nothing can really prepare you for it, this was so interesting. I had no idea what the pain would feel like. And in the end, I would describe it as hard work, but so natural and so peaceful. And I'm completely convinced that it was a mixture of my education. I was just really, really well informed, feeling supported, which was a choice to have my husband there. My husband was really supportive, and trusting the people I was around. I didn't love being in a hospital, but because it was my first, I didn't know what to expect. So home birth would be amazing the second time. Now knowing that I don't need any medication is so encouraging to do a home birth next time. And the placenta thing is such a rare occurrence, probably won't happen again. But there's also more natural ways. There's even acupressure that you can do on the leg, which I didn't know about, which can be done. So a naturopath or a doula there would be really helpful to just push on that pressure point for the placenta to release on its own. But those are little things I didn't know at the time. So everyone who's wondering if they should have a natural birth, I implore you, I tell you it's possible. I've had a few friends who said they didn't have a lot of pain at their birth. One friend of mine just had a really, really large baby, and the labor was 2 hours. And she did it also without an epidural. She said it was beyond amazing. She said she grew out of herself. You just connect with strengths you never knew you had. So I hope this blesses you. Speak to you soon.